This episode of Legacy Curious is brought to you by Legacy Protectors. Customize insurance strategies for business owners and families who aspire to create a lasting legacy. Hello there, and welcome to Legacy Curious, the show where we explore what it really means to protect, grow, and pass on everything you've worked so hard to build. I'm your host, David Gravelle. I'm a life insurance strategist, business legacy coach, and founder of Legacy Protectors. Each episode, I sit down with the bold thinkers, entrepreneurs, and everyday visionaries who are turning their values into lasting impact in business, in life, and across generations. Andy Fankhauser is the founder of Aqua Luxury Consulting, where strategy meets compassion and clarity cuts through chaos. After years of working with business owners across every stage, from spark of an idea startups to seasoned entrepreneurs, Andy saw one truth hold up across every industry and economic cycle. The best time to prepare for uncertainty is before it hits. His approach blends practical financial strategy with mindset shifts, legacy planning, and long-term resilience. Whether you're trying to stabilize your cash flow, build an exit-proof business, or finally get a handle on your what-if plan, Andy's there to help you make better decisions and align your values and vision. With a background in consulting, a deep passion for entrepreneurship, and a life shaped by both faith and experience, Andy knows what it takes to turn overwhelm into opportunity. Through one-on-one sessions, workshops, and resources like his upcoming book, From Chaos to Clarity, he guides leaders like you to not just survive, but lead with strength and foresight. Andy will help you prepare today for whatever tomorrow brings. All right, welcome, Andy, to the show. How you doing today, Andy? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, David. Great to be here. Thanks. Doing amazing, my good sir.
Yeah, good. Where are you calling in from?
Southern California, sunny Southern California, where the temperatures and taxes are high.
Yeah, and are you enjoying the lifestyle there? You surfer? Is that outdoorsy lifestyle?
It's not too bad. I was thinking what day this week I was going to go hit up the waves and the beaches. So, it's nice being able to command and control my own time. So I can do
Yeah.
that in the middle of the week instead of being in an office, respectfully.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the perks for us independent business owners and entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. And so my audience will understand that flexibility. So let's start to get to know you a bit, Andy. Tell us about where you're born, what your life was like as a young person.
Sure. So for all my East Coast listeners out there, I was born in New Jersey, so I got some soft spot in my heart out there. I was just talking to another client of mine earlier today. She's in South Jersey, and we went through all the list of great things that Jersey had, and we still had like 8 fingers left. So, kidding, joke.
Yeah.
But born in New Jersey, found my way to the Midwest via my father, who was in the military, Air Force, 23 years, Lieutenant Colonel, retired and deceased, which I'll get into later. But, born and raised Midwest kid, Midwest values, as they say. And did the grade school, high school, college thing out there, as a kid, high school was, much like everybody else's. You tried to get through it as best you could. You joined a couple sports teams, maybe a girlfriend or two in my case. And to make money, I mowed yards. I shoveled driveways. I raked leaves. I did whatever I could to put $1 in my pocket, right? And then spend it at the local arcade or movie theater or, took a girl out or whatever. It's your atypical Midwest American lifestyle. You played football, you looked for a good time, pretty girl, that sort of thing. But a life for me, I would like to think, didn't really start till I hit college. And that leads to another story.
Yeah, and so you're traveling around while you're younger. What was that experience like for a young?
Your audio just cut out, David.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
I think
try
I heard
that
you.
again. Let's
Oh,
try
there it
that
goes.
again. Is that working? Okay.
Yep, now you got it.
Okay, so let's try that again. So, Andy, tell us a bit about what it was like moving around and in the personal skills you had to develop, like making new friends and being resilient. What did that teach you?
Yeah, well, as with any of your probably military listeners know and their families, travel was part of the game. You went where the military told you to go, period at the end, right? And as the son of an officer, you went to a couple of really interesting places. My most interesting place was a group of islands off the coast of Portugal in the middle of the Atlantic called the Azores. If you don't know where it is, you're probably not going to find it. And that was literally just a group of islands, probably not much bigger than the state of Rhode Island, out in the middle of ocean. You could hardly see anything. So, there was an adaptation that I had to have as a kid growing up. It's like, okay, new environment, new people, new cultures, everything else. And again, as military listeners, family members, you might have kids, especially coming into a brand new school mid school year and being the new kid in the block, that's scary. Second, third, fourth, fifth grade, whatever else. It's like you got so used to having your friends somewhere else, and now you're thrown into this whole new arena, don't know anybody. It takes what, like months, 3, 6 months to acclimate to the style, the culture, the people. You had to grow tough skin a little bit, but that was what the life called for, and then, you hopefully stuck around long enough to make better friends, which I did, grade school, high school, and buddies through college. And I think that in every environment and condition that we, your listeners, are put in, you have to adapt some way. It's just part of what we are as humans. We've adapted for hundreds of thousands of years, and that's just the name of the game. So now we're in this world of AI, if you want to, and not to go down that rabbit hole too much, but now we're having to adapt and adopt and adapt to this new quote unquote AI technology that is completely changing the game across every industry, on every board, on every continent. So you're either going to get on the train and ride it to the end, or you're not going to get on and you're going to be left behind. So what do you do?
Right. Yeah. You make your way as best you can. And so, you sounded like you might have had an entrepreneurial spirit a bit when you were younger. Did you knock on doors to get your shoveling jobs? That's what we did in my neighborhood. And did your parents make you do that, or was that something that you and your friend just grabbed your shovels and off you went?
I started off doing the yard in my own home. I saw my dad do it. He was a big role model for me. I saw my dad do it, so I wanted to do it. So I grabbed the mower before he got home from work, tried to surprise him. Hey, Dad, got the lawn mowed, or whatever else, and he'd give me $5 or $10, wherever it was. And I look at my hand with the $10 in it, look up at him, and suddenly you have this kind of like, well, other people have yards. Why can't I go mow their yard for more money? That sort of thing. And suddenly, yeah, and I kid you not, I still see myself pushing a lawnmower, manual, not this like auto drive,
None of those
automatic
fancy
crap.
driver
No,
ones. Yeah, right.
this
Good
is
old leg
hard
power.
pull. You're starting a boat motor sort of thing, and my trimmer, a gallon of water, and my Walkman. Yes, Walkman, for your listeners. Remember that little, 6-inch, 1 pound radio that sat on your hip, and your foam ear, headphones and so on. And I walked my neighborhood for hours, starting around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, because it got hot during the summer. And I go to noon, come home, have some lunch, and go back out again. And that was a lot of my summers, was trying to make money. Some days I'd make $20, some days I'd be 100 plus. So there was a bit of an entrepreneurial streak in me. I was like, hey, if I'm going to earn it, let me earn it. And then I could do whatever I wanted with my money. My parents were always like, hey, it's your money. You spend it the way you want. If you earn it, keep it.
Right.
So that was a big thing.
It all started then. Okay. And so Let's talk a bit about your university days and
Ah,
why you decided to study what you decided, and then maybe take us through that journey, and then start maybe talking about what happens once you graduated as well.
so I like to think I came out of my shell in college. High school for a lot of us was that self-discovery era, right? Like, what do I like? Don't like music style, everything else, girls, guy, whatever. And college was where I could reset myself entirely. I didn't know anybody. A lot of people didn't really care to know me, that sort of thing. So I completely re-imaged myself and got to like that new me. I went to University of Missouri St. Louis, go Rivermen. I think it's Titans now, but forever Rivermen. And and I entered in as a resident assistant. I helped people and other students find a place to live there on campus. And that established me as a leader, as someone to go to and be dependent on for problems, for issues, for questions, for answers, for resourcefulness, whatever. I established myself as, hey, you can come to me, Andy, and I'm going to help you get into your room, find your place, whatever else, stay safe, you know, keep the noise down, whatever. I was a cool RA if you ask some of my friends, but I established myself. I came in, hey, I'm the guy. You need something, talk to me. If I can do it, I will. If I can't, I'll tell you. We're all adults here, 18 plus. I'll tell you on the spot. Hey, man, that's not a good call. Whatever. Right. But through that, I developed more leadership skills, became president of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Omega, APO. What's up, guys? And we had a amazing banner year that year. And then that's just developed into outreach and networking and just it's learning. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I did graduate with 2 business degrees, but my success came from who I knew that could get me a job. And in 2008, when the world was collapsing economically, it was really about who do you know? Because no one cared that I had 2 degrees and a B average or whatever it was. They wanted you to, hey, Andy's a good guy. He knows his stuff. He's dependable. He's on time, so on and so forth. He can learn on the job. Boom, job. Granted, it was about half
Right.
of what I thought I was going to earn, but that's another story too.
Right. Right. So you entered the workforce. I'm going to assume that you learned things that you never thought, jobs and companies did or were about. It's a completely different experience. How long did that, working for other people, how long did that go on? And then what caused you to decide maybe I wanted to do something on my own and start your own company? What was the journey up to that point like?
Sure. So that's about a 15-year journey, to be really honest with you. From 2000, call it really 2010-ish, when I entered the banking industry, to just here recently. And it was that period that we all go through of cutting our teeth. Hey, this is why it matters to show up on time, to be a good employee, to fill out your timesheet, to fill out that 401k and the benefits package, and to, work 8, 9 hours a day or 12, whatever your profession is. My wife was a nurse, so her days were 12 hours a day. That was a period of time that you learn kind of how the world works, right? Good customer service, follow through, follow up, whatever, how to address managers, how to interview, whatever. You cut your teeth in the world, right? So skipping forward to here recently, and there's a lot of story in between 2010 and now, but skipping forward to where I am here now as a CEO and founder of Aqua Luxury Consulting, I am taking all that experience and all that skills and all that, foundational learning, teeth cutting, if you will, over since 2010 to now, and saying, hey, that was great. I'm glad I learned all that. And I was there on the front lines of 2008, 9, 10 when the economy was collapsing. And there on the front lines again as a banker in COVID, when people were coming to me who were losing jobs, who were losing their businesses, who were losing family members and loved ones left, right, and center, and saying, Andy, can you help me? I'm losing everything. How do I go on? How do I pick up the pieces? How do I put my life back together when everything is gone? Everything I worked hard, my business of after 10 years, 15, 30 years is gone. My significant other who made all the money. I was a stay-at-home mom, dad, they're gone. How do I do this? Now, a lot of us, COVID affected us in a number of different ways. Your listeners probably as well. So my heart goes out to anyone and everyone who COVID was not just a loss of their job and company, but maybe loved one as well. Because I was there receiving death certificates of lost loved ones. So my heart goes out to all those people. And I saw what the system as a banker failed at. And respectfully, we all did what we could as bankers, as people, as neighbors during that time. We social distancing and quarantining and lockdowns. Like our lives was nowhere near what we thought it was. I just had a kid 2 weeks before COVID hit Southern California. I was 3 kids in. Well, then, oh my goodness, what's going on? That sort of thing. But COVID affected us all differently. And again, I saw from inside the system where the system failed for people. And where it failed for people was the lack of guidance and, in my case, consulting of how to prevent businesses and people from suffering more and leaving more burdens for their loved ones and family members than they should if they just properly planned beforehand.
Right. It
right.
really exposed bare the people that were unprepared, and just it devastated everyone that was affected by it on different levels. And preparation served many people in many ways, but it also probably wasn't complete for enough people. I'm sure, even if you were prepared so much, still it's a hard thing to anticipate. Frankly, never would have thought of that in my lifetime that was possible.
Right. And COVID wasn't my fault. Sure, it wasn't your fault. I'm sure it wasn't any of the fault of all of your listeners. And again, it affected us all in many different ways and many in the same way, right? However, yes, you can't plan and prepare for everything. And what you can't plan and prepare for, you leave up to God, just my personal opinion. You can be able to do some very, very simple and many times free procedures and operations for your business and for your personal accounts that if the worst should happen, you're no longer here or whatever, or incapacitated in some way, shape, or form, that either your business can continue for your customers and clients, which is just good customer service at the minimum, or being able to lessen the burdens for those that you love so that the decisions they have to make are more guided, clearer, and will leave a lasting impression, hopefully good, but maybe bad, that they can live off of or at least not be burdened by because your absence is you're not here because of your absence, right? It's things like putting beneficiaries on your account. That's free. All your listeners, David, all your listeners right here. Let me just preach right now. No wonder what time of your day you're listening to this. If it's in the morning and you can call your banker and get an appointment, please go in and get your beneficiaries taken care of or updated. If it's your broker, your FA, your medical benefits, whatever. It's a simple call. Take a day, take a few hours. Just do it, right? Now, there's a whole nother can of worms, and maybe we'll get into that as far as your business goes and things you can do as far as that. But for the personal side of things, do that. That's free. Absolutely free. I run a
probably
workshop.
Could do it online, right? If you can log into your online bank, probably could get some of that done. Yeah. If not, it's a phone call away. And like you said, easy and free.
Yep. And depending on what state you're in, we have 50 great states here. Depending on what state you're in, there's different processes of what you have to go through. But by and large, banks are pretty straightforward. Hey, you need a beneficiary. You can put up to this many. I think Chase is 6. And that avoids probate entirely. Hey, which is a really good thing to do to avoid that.
That's what we preach around here. That's it. Number one rule: avoid probate.
Avoid probate. And it gets the money to your loved ones a hell of a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I actually run a workshop off of this, David, for this topic specifically.
We'll put the link in the description. So
tease us
a bit with that one. Yeah,
grab your notes, grab your drink, grab your whatever. Everyone's invited. That I go over not only how to probate-proof your life personally, but also your business professionally.
With free materials too that you hand out.
Free material. Right? I give a gift at the end. If you stick around, I do have a worksheet that you can literally print off, take to your banker and be like, yo, this guy just preached for like 45 minutes and I need to take care of this right now because I don't have any of this. Mr. Banker, please help me. And I'm not leaving until this is completely filled off. So absolutely. But again, like I said, and this goes out to my dad, who again is not here anymore, died of cancer in 2019. But his military was proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. I should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's a great tagline. Yeah. All the P's.
Right. But I tweak it to being proper preparation prevents probate processes. Yeah, you can have that one too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. And so, what are the business services? You've been kind of teasing them a bit. What are the business and consulting services that Aqua Luxury offers? And, how do clients kind of engage with you? And what does that process look like?
Sure. So in general, I help you provide what you need so you can achieve what you want. Right? I provide the aqua, the water that you need in life and business so you can achieve the luxury in life and business, right? Aqua Luxury. And what a lot of that includes is providing leverage and resources and contacts to what you need in a business, whether it's financial leverage, your startup. Hey, I need 100K, Andy, because I have this business plan. It's my next $1 billion idea, but I need 6 figures to get off the ground. Hey, who can you help? Because if you Google business lending, you're going to get like 5.38 million hits. And if you're going to go through every one of them, I'll wish you good luck and see you in 5 years. So call me. I have a pocket full of great people that I can recommend you to, and you can shop around, be my guest. To something of, hey, Andy, I'm making a transition from corporate life like I did. 20 years, same company, just it's not the company that I started off with. The politics are getting ugly. It's just not what I want to do anymore.
Similar I'm going to start my own. Yeah, hear it all. Right.
Yep. Don't stop me if you heard experience.
This story. That's right.
But Andy, I got this 20-year 401k that I need to roll over to something because, hey, by the way, you don't get a 401k as a business owner. That doesn't exist. But Andy, I also need like a benefits package that I can have for my family and for my growth. Can you do that? Yes, I can do your benefits package. Short of health benefits, vision, dental, stuff like that. I have people for that as well. So if you're open for a referral, I have some really great people that no matter what state you're in, they'd be happy to talk to you, free consultation, see if that fits your lifestyle. So a lot of what I do is that brokerage service of the areas of a new business owner, if you will, that they need, or again, as much like probate processes and protection goes, I can give you a overview of what your current financial position is as far as risk goes. So risk assessment, if you want to think of it that way, and say, hey, happy to support you in your new endeavor, your new journey. Congratulations. It's going to be a fun ride. I like it. I get to hang out with my kids a lot more now. This is great. But make sure that when you take this step, you're stepping on brick road instead of quicksand. And that's a lot of what I bring to my meetings and to my clients of like, hey, let's start that foundation off in the right foot, set up that brick, stone, concrete foundation. and start building up from there. Because if you don't have the right starting, no matter how high the tower is built, it's not going to go any further than as far as
fall
the
over and sink
foundation
into
is
the
built.
swamp. That's it.
Exactly.
The Monty
Exactly.
Python quote, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very good.
Yes. So, okay. So clients can just engage with you via the links in the description, watch
Yep.
you, and engage on Alignable, another great platform,
Yep.
to meet you. So let's kind of fast forward a bit. What does the future look like for yourself and your company? You're building towards something. What can we expect from you in the future? How, once they've been established for a while, be served, by yourself?
Sure. So let me answer that question a little bit differently here. So within my company, I have 3 different segments of clients that I service. I have a 5-minute, 5-month, and 5-year bucket, if you will, and then um, respectfully everybody else who's not a business owner, right? Which I do service as well, happy to do so. So your 5-minute business owner, and not literally 5 minutes, but 5 minutes to say 5 months or 18 months or whatever else, is those people like myself and perhaps like yourself that did their 10, 15, 18 years of corporate America. Hey, I'm done, Andy. Either willingly left or, as the current events are, laid off.
Just getting walked out of the building. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Happened.
they walk in one day, hey, here's your
Yep.
pink slip. Thanks for your time.
That's
Your service is no longer needed. Have a good day. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah.
And they're now not making 6 figures a year. They're 0 cashed out vacation time, wherever it happens to be. So those are the people that I say, hey, let's sit down and see what your resume would look like to transform it. As I like to say, hey, let's take you from an employee to CEO. Nice little promotion. You're welcome, right? Hey, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of
right?
responsibilities.
Yeah, David Gravelle, CEO. Yeah, that looks pretty good on a business card. Yeah, it looked good on me. So I help those people transition into what it would look like to run and own a business. I've done it before. It's actually really cool. But that's not just for corporate people. It's for high school or college graduates, even, that look at the job market these days and say, hey, this sucks. I'm competing against 1,000 other people. My resume's been on LinkedIn and everything else. Job searching is horrible, but I need to make some money. Andy, how can you help me? Let's talk, right? Second bucket, 5-month bucket, right? So 5 months, call it out to 2 years. These are clientele people, my people, who have actively, openly embraced entrepreneurship, business ownership, CEO-ship, if you will, and say, hey, Andy, I'm jumping into the deep end. I'm full engaged into this. I burned my resume, like no one's hiring me anymore because they can't afford me. But Andy, I need to start cranking up my financial goals and plans and foundation. I need to go from brick to concrete, whatever, right? Andy, how can you help me? How can we take it from a 5 to a 6, from a 6 to a 7, and so on? Well, yeah, let's sit down and talk, because I want to meet you where you're at to get you what you need so you can achieve what you want. Hey, right?
Fun. I like that. Yeah. Meet you where you're at so you can get what you need, take you where you're going. Sorry, did I get it?
Yeah. I got to put that on a t-shirt too. And then you have a third bucket. And these are not just 5-year literal, but 5 to 10 to 15 to 20-year business owners who've been in the game, cut their teeth, bled, blood, sweat, tears, the whole 9, right? And they're at the stage, hey, Andy, I'm making 1 million. I need to make 3 this year. Hey, Andy, I'm making 5. I need to make 15. Hey, Andy, I'm in 5 states. I need to be in 15 states and 2 countries. I need to go from 6 people to 20. I need to hire a VP, like so on, right? Like they're not playing small game. It's major league stuff at this point, right? Andy, I need more financial leverage. I need more, I need to offer better benefits to my crew because, David, I'll tell you, what's harder than finding good help is keeping good help.
Sure. Right. Retaining, just as important. That's right.
Yeah. Because if your competitor down the street's going to offer better benefits and a few more bucks per hour, your best employee might go that way. So you have to keep on the front lines of offering what is the best out there, right? And as a broker with the financial firm that I'm part of, I can do that for you. Let me shop around for you. Hey, I can bring out 6, 7, 8 different companies on whatever you need, and you can pick the best one because now you have a contact with that company. And guess what? You don't pay me. My company pays me. So I'm doing this work for you. Easy. But in that third segment also, David, is people who have done business ownership for 20, 25 years. They're 60, 70 something, maybe 80 something. They're coming to me and say, hey, Andy, hey, I'm done. I've done my time in working. I got 6 grandkids. They're that I haven't seen enough. I want to take my wife, my husband, my partner out around the world. We want to travel. There's places we haven't seen because I've been working for 20 years. Andy, I'm done. I want out. How can you help? Well, awesome. Because now you have a 20-year, like 6, maybe 8-figure revenue generating business that has books that are drum tight that you can now put on the market and get top dollar for and enjoy the rest of your life without having to pick up another customer service phone. Enjoy it. You deserve it, man. You absolutely deserve it. So let me help you make that happen, get you the best dollar. And for services like that, again, I have contacts and so on. But let's first discover what you want your money to do, right? You got to know where you're at and what you're going to get before you know how to spend it. Mm-hmm. And see what it's going to do for your life and what you want left when you're no longer around. Because it's not just about pre-planning to make sure that your business and life get through whatever chaos and calamity is. It's about making sure that, and if it's important to you, and some people it isn't, but making sure that the impact that you leave best helps those that you love the most, or for generations maybe that you won't meet. My father, and again, and I have great parents, love them so much. Tragically, my dad died. He knew before I was born, my sister was born, that he wanted to have a family, and he started putting money away and investing it and so on and so forth way back in the 80s, right after he got married. He knew he wanted to do all that. Due to his pre-planning and his strategic investments and so on and so forth, when he passed, he was able to leave my sister and I inheritance for me to buy the house that I'm in, my sister to do whatever she wanted to do with her money. And now I am in a great place here in Southern California that 10 years ago, if you asked me, I would be like, own a house in California? Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Right. I'll just rent. Right. But here I am in my house now because the love of my father, who pre-planned decades ago, allowed me to do that.
Right. And that's the lesson we teach here every day, right? Is that we can have extension through multiple generations. People we never meet can be affected by what we're doing today. And it's your responsibility now to take that on and do it for your family and the people that you'll never meet. And so congratulations on learning that lesson, Andy, and for being lucky enough to, be born into that family. It is a lottery. It's kind of a bit of both, right? You got to have some luck, but you're also the steward of your own ship in a lot of ways. So, again, thanks for the work that you do helping other people do the same thing. That's our primary goal on this channel, is to make sure everyone's thinking about, their downline, the people that rely on them and the people they'll never meet. And hopefully, through these types of episodes, they'll be able to make better choices and put planning in place. So let's get to the $1 million question around here. And it's different for everyone, but for you, what do you hope you're remembered as? What is the legacy you'd like to leave behind, Andy?
Oh man, that is $1 million question. Wow. Well, more in the short term here, and something I'm very proud about is all 3 of my kids love to go fishing. And they actually have their own poles and their own gear and everything else. And I'm not a professional fisher in any way, shape, or form, but it's what my dad did to me growing up. And when he passed, he gave me some of his fishing gear, which I'm passing to my kids. So I've told just about everybody that if I do nothing else as a father than to have my kids enjoy fishing, I can die a happy dad, a happy man. And it's that's that's so simple, and yet in my head so just completely gratifying that I don't need anything beyond that. Because if I am, God willing, here for my grandkids, I can take them fishing or be with their parents, my kids, and we'll have like a 3 guy or grandfather, father, son, daughter fishing trip or something like that, and that will absolutely put me in the grave as a happy man. As a business owner and as a consultant and someone that, hey, I'm not just doing this until I find a job because I'm not looking for one. I want to be able to empower the next generation of business owners or current business owners to be more confident and more just calm in the decisions financially that they make so that they don't panic when the next chaos moment comes. Hey, you know what? COVID 2.0 is here next year. We're going to be good. We talked to Andy. We have things in place. We don't have to shut down the store. We don't have to start laying off people. We don't have to, cancel the life insurance policy because that's what's going to pay for our retirement later on. Because we talked to Andy. I tell people, hey, look, 15 minutes with me could save you 15 months of pain, misery, and regret later on. The old saying, what my grandma used to say, an ounce of prevention equals a pound of cure, right? Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be me, David, for your listeners. Pick someone you trust. Happy to do so. I work across all states, by the way. So all my East Coasters, hey, what's up again? And
acting, just get to work, right? We want
but
people to leave today, and if you choose us to help you, great. But if not, we want to know that that's part of our legacy, right? Is that we could affect someone we never meet to take action today that would affect not only their lives, but the people that depend on them, and that maybe they'll never meet.
100%, 100%, and it's that foresight that your listeners need to have or need to develop that say, hey, the here and now instant gratification is awesome, but that's instant gratification. It's a moment in time. It's over as soon as it begins, and you're back to where you were before.
Sure.
Right. It's exactly. But if you pre-plan, if you prepare, if you see yourself outside of the next 5 minutes and maybe 5 years, 15, 50 years, whatever happens to be,
right, and
you say, hey, I want to do this, re-engineer or reverse engineer and come back of what you need to do to accomplish that. Sometimes it makes more sense to take apart a future picture than it is to paint it from the beginning,
Makes sense. That's right. Right. Yeah. Well, that's great wisdom, Andy. We want to thank you for coming on today and encourage our audience. First off, check out more in the description on what Andy has to offer, especially on Alignable. He'll talk about, again, avoiding probate. That's one of our number one messages here. And of course, visit his website and contact him. And thanks again. We'll look forward to having you on in the future to speak directly to some of those topics, Andy. Appreciate your time today.
Hey, David, real honored to be here, sir. To all your listeners, God bless you and have a beautiful day. And I'll look forward to talking to everyone again here soon. Take care.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you to our listeners and audience for spending time with us today on Legacy Curious. I hope this conversation gave you some insight, encouragement, or just that little spark you needed to keep you moving forward in your own legacy journey. If you got value from today's episode, please take a second to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone else who's building something that matters. And if you're ready to take that next step, protecting your business, planning for retirement, or passing on your legacy with purpose, head to legacyprotectors.life to schedule a conversation. Until next time, I'm your host, David Gravelle, reminding you to stay curious, stay committed, and keep building something worth passing on.